Chef Sel was recorded on a cell phone in front of a fake audience.
Hey guys, Chef Sel, right here. Turn the cameras around. Show the fake audience. Not so fake, huh? Today, Mushroom Leek Fontina Frittata. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. Speaking of canning waiting, speaking of cannot waiting, how do you say that? Speaking of cannot waiting, Professor Fogg showing up today. Don't get so happy. It is Professor Fogg. He's going to teach us a little bit about frittatas and things like that. So it should be fun. I want to get going a little bit. The only strange ingredient, I think would be the leek. The leek that we're putting in here. Have you seen a leek? Because I have. Now I know what you're thinking. Well done! So this is the leek. Okay? I wanted to show you the whole thing looks like. When we say slice it up, just to let you know, we're going to take off this, this end. Well done! And we're going to cut it right from here. Sorry. We're going to cut it from here to about here. Leave off these really, really hard, this is like tobacco. These like tobacco leaves on the end. Leave them out. We're going to cut it, we're going to cut it on the length and on the short and on the thing. And you'll see. It's pretty easy. You're going to cut it up because we're going to use them for kind of like the sweetness to counteract the fontina here. Where was I? It's kind of sweet. Let's just put it that way. Okay, so what I have here is I have non-stick pan. I'm going to say it again. Non-stick pan. If you do this right, you can serve it right out of the pan. We're going to start it on the stove and we're going to end it in the oven. Yeah, under the broiler. I'll teach you about that, why we're doing broiler and we're not baking. A lot of people like when you bake it. Well, they don't like when you bake it. They don't know what you're doing. They just, they like it baked. I'm going to broil it. I'm going to tell you why as we go. So this thing's pretty hot. It's like a medium high. I got a medium high going. Always, when you're making a frittata, even though it's a non-stick pan, oops, use the All right, so use the pan, and along with the pan, yes I am. Along with the pan, yes I am, yes I am. About a tablespoon or two of your favorite oil. I use avocado oil. They say it's healthy, so I'm trying to be healthy. All right, swirl that around a bit. Oh, she's hot, that's what you want. We're gonna do about 3/4 pound of sliced cremini mushrooms. These are portobellos. You can do creminis. You can any mushrooms you want. There are no rules in Chef Sel's kitchen. Not even one. Except I have to clean up after myself and my wife will throw me out. All right, so to these, give me about 2 teaspoons salt, a couple of turns of black pepper. Now we're gonna kind of roast these a little bit on the stove top, fry them, whatever you want to call it. And then we're going to put them in a bowl to be added back to the frittata mixture. So we were saying before, I'm gonna let them go down a little bit. But before I go and then come back with all this cooked, because the mushrooms, they take a while, and just don't worry about it. Just cook them. But anyway, before I go off into my little cooking land, a lot of people, they don't know what a frittata is. It's really just an omelet without the comb over.
Residents for the September working day.
Anyway, besides that, we need a little bit more, how do we put it? Professorial teaching. An angle from the professor himself, Professor Fogg. The frittata. Ah, yes, the frittata. Many things have been thought about the frittata. The frittata. No one has even come close to the real meaning of what a frittata is. It's not an omelet. Or as that crazy chef calls it, a comb-over, or a non-comb-over. Completely different. It's completely different. Frittata has some of the same ingredients that an omelet does have, yet the eggs in it aren't. It has some of the eggs that aren't the same. It's not the same. Stop it! Stop! Don't you throw that! Don't you throw! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Don't throw! What just happened? Anyhow, all right. So on mushrooms or mushrooming. Don't worry, Professor Fogg will be back. You know, you guys intimidate him, and you should. You should. He needs to bone up a little bit more. I mean, he's an expert on what? I have no idea. All right, so the mushrooms are going. And I'm going to come back when these are ready for the next ingredient. We're going to pour these mushrooms aside and then do the leeks. We have some scallions. I'll show you. I'll be back. Well, okay then. You have come back. See, these mushrooms, they're down now. They're down. So don't, when you pour 3/4 of a pound of mushrooms that are sliced into a pan, it's going to look like Mount Mushmore. You know what I mean? But they go down. They go down. They don't get down. They go down. All right, so as I promised, I'm going to pour these into an adjoining bowl, a bowl that's been adjoining my area or something. I don't know. All right, keep the pan hot. Move it back up to a medium-high heat, and now as a delicious base, I have. Well, we're gonna spray first. You know that. See, I have two really thick cut slices of bacon. It's not. I can't call it a bacon frittata because it's just for the base of the oils and the smoky taste. It's good stuff. This bacon. You know, I hear good things. All right, so put the bacon in there. We want this baker to render down. Oh yes, ladies and gentlemen, the really cool TV chefs have told you it's rendering. Don't say cook. Don't say melt. Don't say completely vanish and wash away. Wash away. Don't say wash away.
I hope you feel better now.
Don't say any of it. You say render. So you go to bed without your frittata.
Frittata.
Alright, so move the bacon around. You're doing good. It's not really that hard. This is an easy one. But if you have the right direction, anything's easy. You know what I mean? Just bear with me. You know, you told me in the last episode you'd stay with me, and you have been. I want to thank all the people, by the way, on my Facebook page and the subscribers and new people watching. Subscribe, because then you get updates when it's going to have a next thing and when that professor guy is coming on. Stop it! He means well. All right, so we'll cook this bacon down. Bacon down. Oi. Everybody's gonna write in. There goes half my audience. All right, cook it down. I'll be back. Poor little bacon. It's been reduced to a shadow of its former self. Oh, sorry, rendered. Okay, I'm gonna show you what it looks like up close. It's kind of, it's somewhere in between. Crispy and ready to go. It's still gonna, it's gonna join the egg in the cooking process later. So we don't want it to get too crispy at this point. Right, I'm gonna lay it out here. You can't see it on camera, I don't think. Maybe some of it. I'm gonna keep the bacon fat in the pan. Well, some of it. You'll see. And I want to get the bacon a little bit drained. It seems like what you do, right? You don't even know why you do it anymore. You just do it. I know my mother used to keep bacon fat in a coffee can. Did you guys do that? Somebody please write in and tell me that your mother did that too, because I'm thinking it might be a dream now. Right, yeah. Don't dream about being stranded on Gilligan's Island with Marianne and Ginger, right? Dream about your mother putting bacon fat into a coffee can. Priorities. All right, so I'm gonna pour out a little bit of this bacon fat. I'm gonna leave about 2 tablespoons in. Bring back the heat back up again. Now we're going to do the veggie portion. Well, you know, beyond the mushrooms, of course. 2 scallions, chopped about 1/4 inch. And 1 leek, sliced in quarters. I'll show you what I mean by that. I'll show you what I mean. Just, you know, what do they say these days? Take a chill pill, man. So I got these leeks. Here's my friend. Like I said, cut off this, you know, furry end here, and go about. You see where the green gets a little, from really right there, and get rid of this. Just get rid of it. Go plant them in your garden. Maybe you grow something. All right. Then you're gonna cut it here in half, long way, and then again in half, another. So you have 1/4 rings, and then chop those rings. About that thick, all the way down. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. You got it. You're already doing it. I hear the chopping all over America. All right. I didn't overload this with leeks. You could put both of these leeks in. I just put one in. This is kind of it's not. I'm not going to say it's a hangover thing. It's a brunch item. These frittatas, and 9 times out of 10, if you're of a certain ilk, a certain age, in a certain city, some certain cities, you do what they call brunch on Sunday, which is another name for getting over your hangover. So you want to load up on leeks. You know, you're trying to get fat into your system. You know, they say that's good for hangovers. And the bacon, the olive oil, avocado oil that we're using, stuff like that. Get these leeks softened. Now I'm going to. I say this all the time, and I always quote Emil. He's so important. Can I get his name right? Emeril Lagasse. Oh, Emeril, if you're watching, and I know you are, because I know you enjoy Chef Sal. It's Emeril Lagasse, sir. Sir, yes, sir. Anyway, he says season in layers, and that's what I'm going to do here. Again, I did the mushrooms this way. You know, for 1 leek, give me a half a teaspoon of salt. Two leeks, give me 2 teaspoons of salt. You say in half increments there, Johnny. And give me some of this beautiful cracked pepper. Get that going. And let's mix her around again. Now, 2 of these leeks, I'm going to, on the fly, which means that I'm not going to do it, you know, as a preparatory step. On the fry, see this? This is fresh thyme. Thyme. I'm sorry. Do I offend? Thank you for your patience. It's thyme, right? So I'm just going to take it and go against the grain with the leaves. 1 sprig. I almost said 1 sprig at a time.
Well, that was awkward.
Yes, it was.
Whatever. All right. 1 sprig at a time is fine with me. And try not to get the stems in there. Usually I say don't worry about the stems, but everything's just lightly cooked. It's not going to really, you know, kill all this stuff. We don't want to kill it. And thyme, if done right, if added correctly, and use the fresh thyme, don't use the dry stuff, but if added correctly and in the right amounts, in the right dishes, brings out a taste that you're going to, you know, Uncle Jimmy. Remember Uncle Jimmy from the barbecue? Hey, who added thyme? There's thyme. All right, so the thyme's in here. We've got the leeks going. Oh, they're getting a little caramelized. You mean they're going to taste better? Yes. I'm going to move my heat down a little bit now to medium. And I'm going to add this time. I'm going to add this time. Here, that's what the leeks look like. See? That's the leeks in the thyme. I'm going to add them to my side dishes here, my side additions, if you will, because we're almost ready to do the egg part, which is really easy. So what we're going to do, let's get our eggs going. I have 10 eggs here. They happen to be room temperature. Yours do not have to be. Sometimes they do. Like when you're baking, you want them room temperature. Sometimes you want them cold. Just listen to me each step of the way. I'll show you which way to go. Right now, we just have 10 eggs. How's that? And I got them here in a stainless steel mixing bowl. Bingo! Beautiful! And to this, half a cup of sour cream. Surprise, surprise, it adds a creaminess. So I want you to bang the heck out of it. Whatever. So I'm whipping the heck out of this here. I don't know if you can see it. We go, see? So let me do this, and I'll come back once it's really, really, really whipped and banged and all those bad words. All right, so I have really, really whipped the heck out of these things. I want you to keep going as long as you can go up to about 4 or 5 minutes. Then it gets, you know. You do want it to rise a little bit. And the actual air that you're throwing into these eggs, and you are throwing air into these eggs, trust me. It's gonna help it rise anyway, so don't get too crazy with that. So what we're gonna do, again with the avocado oil, I know, because we're gonna reheat all this stuff we just cooked, basically. So we're gonna put this stuff back in the pan, and you can actually serve this as is in the pan on the table, which is what I do recommend. Everybody's hungover anyway. Nobody's gonna notice. No, but it's a cool look. It's a cool look. All right, so we got that. I'm gonna throw my mushrooms in. Now, you gotta get a little artsy here. First of all, you don't want, you know like the burritos, like they have the burritos, and they make them, they put like one section, they put the olives, and then the lettuce, and then the rice, and then the beans, and then the meat. It's like, hey, I'm eating lettuce, all right, would you stop? You know what I mean? But I want these all mixed up. I want them all mixed up. I want them mixed up thoroughly and correctly, because what I'm going to add now is the eggs, and then to those eggs I'm going to add, it's Fontina. It's a shark cheese. It's a delicious shark cheese. That's all you need to know. And you could do 2 cups of this if you want. You can just put freaking cheese in the pan and make that. I don't care. They're hungover, remember. So, no big deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue just to rebeat these eggs a little bit off camera. I'm here. Throw in a little over half of this Fontina cheese. Sick. Yeah, that's what it looks like. See? Just eggs and cheese, and a little bit of sour cream. Go around the outside edge and come to the middle. If there's leftover stuff, I don't have a song for that. Just keep going. Cheese is gonna lump out here and there. That's okay, as long as it's sort of distributed. Excellent. Oh, this is beautiful. Beautiful, guys. And try to get stuff to the edge. You still have time. Don't dig down to the bottom. Just stay on the top or about halfway down and try to get that cheese all around. So what we're going to do, we're going to let this set. It has to set. You can tell it's set by around the edges. Starts to peel from the pan. It curls, like a flower, like a budding flower. All right. That's what it does. That's what it does. Now, I already kind of salt and peppered the whole thing, but I want to give a little bit more salt, especially because the eggs in there are going to sort of dilute that salty, delicious flavor. And let's throw in this cracked black pepper. While that's going, I'm going to pick up the time that I dropped on the counter while we were on break. I remember I still have, a half a cup of this Fontina. If you start out with a half a pound of Fontina, you're ahead of the game. That's what I did. And you can start out with a pound if you want, pound and a half, but don't get too crazy. I know I said you could, but don't always listen to me. Sometimes listen to me, but don't always. Because this is going to go on as the top sets. I'm going to put on my broiler now. You have a broiler, just look for it. I just want to check my rung. My rung's going to come down to the second level down. Not right on top. I told you that before. Because when you're right on top of the broiler and you're the food, she broils just in the middle, maybe 3/4. I want nice coverage. Plus, it's almost like a baking thing. It broils but it bakes. It broils and it bakes. Broils, bakes, broils, bakes. All right. So let's let this set. Don't touch it. A lot of people, they think we're making an omelet. Like Professor Fogg taught us. It's set. Now this is starting to come off the sides. I'm going to let it go a little bit more. I have it on a medium. I think we're going to be okay. So just let her go. And like I said, once you broil it, it's going to harden on the top. See, a lot of people like to put, they do it, like I just did on top. And then they put it in a 400-degree oven. Guess what? The bottom is gonna stay hot. It already was hot. Here, you're just getting the heat coming from the top, but you still have heat in the oven because the broiler throws off heat, you know what I mean? So it'll bake evenly. You know what I mean. All right. Time to throw it in. I wanna teach you something. You need to be taught this, because I have burnt my hand many, many times. You know, sometimes you're on the phone and you go and you grab the pot that's been in the oven. Hey, there's something sizzling. You know what I mean? So, keep this somewhere where when you open the oven later, it'll kind of remind you. See, I have mine, if you could see. I kind of flop it over the side a little bit. And then when I open the oven, I'm like, hey, what's that rag in the way for? Now, if you don't remember what it's there for, that I can't help you with. And trust me, you ask my wife, we go through this all the time. But that's a whole other segment. All right, so this is ready to be broiled now. So just in case you get into the habit, I am going to use this rag for the handle. And I'm going to put it right in the middle of that broiler, right in the middle of the broiler. I'm going to go about 4 minutes. I'm going to keep checking it though, just in case. 2 minutes in, 2.5 minutes in, take it out for a second and sprinkle the rest of the cheese on there, and then it broils and it bubbles up like a bubbling thing. It's delicious. We'll see you right back. Alrighty, we're about 3 minutes, between 3 and 4 minutes into the baking process. Actually, the broiling process. As you can see, I'm using my handy hand protector rag. Take it out. Don't do anything while you're holding it, because this is really hot, so I'm reminding myself by putting this here. And I got my Fontina here for the final coverage. This is ridiculous. I know. I try to go in my shows and not say ridiculous, but I mean, look at this. And get around to the edges. Don't be afraid of edges, you know. You don't want it's not like a pizza where you wind up with the crust at the edge, you know, or a pie or whatever. Get it all around the edges. I mean, always go from the outer edge in when you're doing this kind of stuff, trust me. So let's put this back in here now. Now all about melting the cheese, that's all. Maybe a little bit more brown on the top of the frittata product itself. So let's let this go another minute and a half. We'll check it, I'll be right back. Bubbling is going on. Severe bubbling, which is good. It's a good thing. It means the cheese is melting exactly the way I want it. And she's browning on the top on you. Look at this. Look at this. Coming right out of the oven. No kidding, no fooling, no trick photography. I mean, here, let me see if I can get another thing here to hold it up. Yeah, camera 2.
Mmm, so tasty.
Feast on that. Camera 1, take a shot at it. Everybody take a shot at it. Ah, bubbly, delicious. Mushroom Leek Fontina Frittata. It's delicious. Hey, Instagram.
Right, stop that. Silly.
I'm going to put a little bit of, I did some flat leaf parsley. Yeah, it has to be on the top. Like I said, you could serve it like this. Cut it like a pie. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Just really so good. So cheesy. It's cheesy and delicious and scrumptious and delicious. See? Boom, there you go. So, there it is. I mean, you know, leeks, you never know about leeks. What are they? Well, now you know a little bit about them, okay? They're good in soup, too. But next time you find yourself with a leek, make the best of it. Not that. Different leek. Yeah, I know. You heard it. You heard it. Chef Sal, try this one. Enjoy.